Assalamu alaikum. This is Pratusha Borwa welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. It's government's responsibility to stand by flood-affected people, says Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus, handing over houses in 4 districts. Government to continue efforts for building modern air force to protect country's independence and sovereignty, says Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus. Electricity bill in fisheries sector to be collected at same rate as that in agriculture, says Fisheries and Livestock Advisor Farida Akhtar. India intends to launch military strike within next 24 to 36 hours, says Pakistan's Minister for Information and Broadcasting based on credible intelligence. And Tigers equal series by 1-1 thumping Zimbabwe by innings and 106 runs in second test of 2-match series in Chattogram. Viewers, those were the headlines, so moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus today distributed houses among the flood-affected people of 4 districts in the country. Joining virtually from the Chief Advisor's office, Professor Yunus handed over the houses to the flood victims of August-September last year in Feni, Noakhali, Gumila and Chattogram districts. The Chief Advisor said it was the government's responsibility to stand by the flood-affected people, and that's why it took this special housing construction project immediately after the flood. He said Bangladesh Army has set an emblem by building houses for flood victims, maintaining standard and transparency. Professor Yunus urged the beneficiaries to ensure education for their children so that they can be good human beings and good entrepreneurs.
যে টাকা দিয়েছিলাম তার অর্ধেক টাকাতে কাজটা করেছে। এটা চমৎকার কাজ হয়েছে। ভবিষ্যতে এরকম দুর্যোগের সময় তাদেরকে আমরা কাছে পাবো, আমাদের ভরসার স্থল হবে, যে আমরা জানবো যে সেনাবাহিনী এই কঠিন কাজ, এই কঠিন পরিস্থিতিতে সঠিকভাবে আমাদেরকে করে দিতে পারে। সঠিকভাবে কাজ করার, একত্রে কাজ করার, দুর্যোগ মোকাবেলা করার এবং সৎভাবে করার যে দৃষ্টান্ত স্থাপন করলাম, এটা আমাদের সবাইকে উদ্বুদ্ধ করবে। এটা আমাদেরকে বড় লেসন, আমাদের জন্য বড় প্রাপ্য। এই বাড়িটি আপনার একটি অবলম্বন, মাথা গোজার একটা জায়গা। এখানে আপনারা পরিবার পরিজন, সন্তান সন্ততি নিয়ে বসবাস করবেন। যেহেতু এখন মাথা গোজার মতো একটা ব্যবস্থা হয়েছে, এখন একই সাথে আপনাদের সন্তানদের উন্নত ভবিষ্যৎ গড়ে তোলার দিকেও নজর দিতে হবে। তাদেরকে ভালো মতো পড়াশোনা করাবেন, যাতে ভবিষ্যতে তারা ভালো মানুষ, ভালো নাগরিক এবং ভালো উদ্যোক্তা হতে পারে। দেশের মানুষ আপনাদের পাশে দাঁড়িয়ে যে সাহস জুগিয়েছে, সেই সাহস সবসময় মনের মধ্যে ধারণ করবেন এবং দেশের মানুষ আপনাদের সঙ্গেই থাকবে। এই সহমর্মিতা দেশের সকল মানুষের মধ্যে এবং সকল প্রজন্মের মধ্যে ছড়িয়ে পড়লেই আমরা একটা সাহসী এবং স্বনির্ভর জাতি হিসেবে গড়ে উঠতে পারব।
Disaster Management and Relief Advisor Faruqi Azam Bir Protik, Principal Secretary Muhammad Sirajuddin Mia, Army Chief General Waqar-e-Zaman and Principal Staff Officer of the Armed Forces Division Lieutenant General S.M. Kamrul Hassan, among others, addressed the occasion. Director of Ashran 2 Project Muhammad Munirul Islam Patwari conducted the event. 4 beneficiaries from Feni, Noakhali, Chattogram and Kumila district joined the ceremony virtually and expressed their satisfaction. Senior civil and military officials were present on the occasion. Bangladesh Army implemented the special housing project. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus said the government will continue its efforts to build a modern air force to face any challenge to protect the country's independence and sovereignty. The Chief Advisor said this while inspecting the exercise of Bangladesh Air Force at Bir Uttam A.K. Khandokar Base in the capital today. Earlier, Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan welcomed the Chief Advisor on his arrival at the base. At the venue, a smartly turned out contingent of Bangladesh Air Force gave state salute to the chief advisor. The national anthem was played at that time. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Advisor Professor Mahmoud Yunus said, international standard training and practice is of immense importance to keep pace with the fast-changing technology of today's world. In this context, members of Bangladesh Air Force are always trying to keep their knowledge skills up to date by participating in multidimensional training programs and exercises regularly. He said the government will provide all-out support to BAF for adding modern fighter planes, helicopters, transport aircrafts and radars in future in the Air Force.
এই মহড়া কেবল একটি সাময়িক অনুশীলনই নয়, এটি আমাদের সার্বভৌমত্ব রক্ষায় বিমান বাহিনীর পেশাদারিত্ব এবং দক্ষতার পরিচয় বহন করে। বর্তমান বিশ্বের দ্রুত পরিবর্তনশীল প্রযুক্তির সাথে তাল মিলিয়ে চলার জন্য আন্তর্জাতিক মানসম্পন্ন প্রশিক্ষণ ও অনুশীলন অপরিসীম গুরুত্ব বহন করে। এই প্রেক্ষাপটে বাংলাদেশ বিমান বাহিনীর সদস্যগণ নিয়মিতভাবে বহুমাত্রিক প্রশিক্ষণ কার্যক্রম ও অনুশীলনে অংশগ্রহণের মাধ্যমে নিজেদের জ্ঞান ও দক্ষতাকে যুগোপযোগী করতে সদা সচেষ্ট রয়েছে, যা এই মহড়ার মাধ্যমে আমাদের কাছে স্পষ্ট হয়েছে। দেশের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও স্বাধীনতার প্রতি যে কোনো চ্যালেঞ্জ মোকাবেলায় একটি আধুনিক ও সদাপ্রস্তুত বিমান বাহিনী গড়ে তোলার লক্ষ্যে আমাদের প্রচেষ্টা অব্যাহত থাকবে। বাংলাদেশ বিমান বাহিনী সময়োপযোগী পরিকল্পনা ও দূরদর্শী নেতৃত্বের মাধ্যমে সমসাময়িক ভূ-রাজনৈতিক পরিস্থিতি ও কার্যকর আকাশ প্রতিরক্ষার পাশাপাশি বিস্তীর্ণ সমুদ্র এলাকায় নিশ্চিদ্র নিরাপত্তা প্রদানের লক্ষ্যে কাজ করে যাচ্ছে। বাংলাদেশ বিমান বাহিনীর দেশীয় প্রযুক্তি ব্যবহার করে স্বয়ংসম্পূর্ণভাবে বেসিক ট্রেনের বিমান আনম্যান্ড এরিয়াল ভেহিকল তৈরি করেছে, যা বিমান বাহিনীর উদ্ভাবনী সক্ষমতা আত্মনির্ভরতার প্রতীক। বিমান বাহিনীতে ভবিষ্যতে অত্যাধুনিক যুদ্ধ বিমান, হেলিকপ্টার, পরিবহন বিমান, রেডার, সারফেস টু এয়ার মিসাইল, ইউএভি সংযোজনের জন্য সরকার বিমান বাহিনীকে সর্বোত্তম সহযোগিতা প্রদান করবে। আমাদের সকলের ঐক্যবদ্ধ প্রচেষ্টায় আমরা একটা নিরাপদ, উন্নত ও শক্তিশালী বাংলাদেশ গড়ে তুলব ইনশাআল্লাহ।
Members of the Advisory Council, chiefs of Bangladesh Army and Navy, and high civil and military officials were present on the occasion. Former fascist Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been accused of contempt of court for allegedly obstructing judicial proceedings and issuing threats, with the claim brought forward today during a hearing at the International Crimes Tribunal. During the hearing, the prosecution informed the court that a forensic report had confirmed an audio recording where Sheikh Hasina is allegedly heard saying, 226 cases mean we have got a license to kill 226 people. The tribunal heard arguments regarding these accusations of disrupting proceedings and threatening the court, marking a significant development in ongoing legal matters. Previously, the prosecution had informed the tribunal about the existence of such an audio clip, promoting the court to order a forensic analysis of the evidence. Meanwhile, Rashid Khan, General Secretary of the Gano Adhikar Porishad, has filed a complaint at the International Crimes Tribunal against former Additional Superintendent of Police and ex-Chief of Cyber Forensics Ishtiaq Ahmed. The complaint accused Ishtiaq of aiding crimes against the humanity during the July-August mass uprising in Dhaka by deploying drones to locate students, protesters, and then sharing that information with law enforcement agencies and ruling party cadres, allegedly leading to the killing and torture of the protesters. Ishtiaq Ahmed, who was arrested earlier in Rangamati, was produced before the tribunal yesterday. The court ordered to send him to prison. Finance advisor Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed said The Trump administration has given a 3-month period regarding the imposition of new tariff, and if necessary, the timeline will be extended through discussions. He made this statement at the 45th meeting of the National Board of Revenue's Consultative Committee held at a hotel in the capital today. The finance advisor commented that this year's budget will be realistic. The meeting was jointly organized by the FBCCI and the NBR in preparation for the 2025-26 fiscal year budget. The session was presided over by NBR Chairman Mohammad Abdur Rahman Khan and attended by Trade Advisor Sheikh Bushiruddin and BIDA Executive Chairman Ashik Mahmood bin Harun. The event was moderated by FBCCI Administrator Hafizur Rahman. The Fish Festival 2025 was held to mark the 12th anniversary of the Faculty of Fisheries and Chattogram in Veterinary and Animal Sciences University. Fisheries and Livestock Advisor Furida Akhtar was the chief guest at the International Scientific Fisheries Conference held at the university's conference room this afternoon. She said we need to develop an ecological-friendly management system, moving away from feed and medicine-based high fish farming because fish farming is no longer in its previous state due to climate change. In view of the demands of fish farmers, the advisor also promised that the electricity bill in the fisheries sector will be collected at the same rate as the electricity bill in agriculture. Dean of the Faculty of Fisheries Sheikh Ahmed Al Nahid presided over the conference, while Rangamati University of Science and Technology Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Atiyar Rahman, Director General of the Fisheries Department Dr. Mohammad Abdul Rauf, Director General of BFRI Anuradha Bhadro, former Member of Parliament Lutfur Rahman Kajol and other concerned persons addressed the occasion. Later, prizes were distributed to the winners of various competitions of students of the Fisheries Department in the 3-day program. The advisor visited various establishments, including the Fisheries and Zoological Museum of the university. Earlier, advisor Furida Akhtar spoke as the chief guest at the seminar on the occasion of the 97th birthday of National Professor Dr. Nurul Islam, organized at the conference room of the USTC in the city. The advisor said Dr. Nurul Islam, accompanied by the late Dr. Zafrullah Chaudhry, fought for the development of the medical system throughout his life. Together, they played an important role in formulating the national drug policy. She said the contribution of Dr. Nurul Islam in the field of medicine should be highlighted to the new generation so that they can be inspired by his ideals and come forward to build the country. USTC Vice Chancellor Dr. Mohammad Sulaiman presided over the seminar, while Dainik Azadi editor M.A. Malik, Deputy Vice Chancellor Professor M. Muhyiddin Chaudhry, Registrar Dilip Kumar Borua, Professor Dr. Rama Borua, Professor Dr. Muhammad Bodiul Alum addressed the occasion. Election Commissioner retired Brigadier General Abul Fazal Mahmud Sanaullah said the Election Commission made it easier to correct errors in the NID card. However, he noted that completely changing one's name or identity remains a complex or time-consuming process. He made these remarks today while briefing the journalists after a commission meeting. The Election Commissioner also informed that if someone obtained 2 NID cards, the first one would be remained while the second one would be discarded. Special measures were taken across 56 areas during the voter list update to ensure that Rohingyas are not included in the voter registry, he added. The Election Commissioner confirmed that if any Rohingya managed to fraudulently get registered in the voter list, they would be dropped. Now, international news. Pakistan's Minister for Information and Broadcasting Ataullah Tarar said Islamabad has credible intelligence that India intends to launch a military strike within the next 24 to 36 hours as tensions between the two countries escalate following a recent deadly attack in Indian-administered Kashmir. In a social media post, Ataullah Tarar accused India of using last week's attack in Pahalgam as a false pretext to potentially strike Pakistan. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given the armed forces complete freedom to decide on the mode, target and timing of India's military response to the Pahalgam terror attack. The message was delivered as the Narendra Modi met Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan. At least 35 have been killed across Gaza in the past 24 hours, while residents of Nuseirat in central Gaza described an Israeli attack on a building as earthquake that killed at least 8 people. Day 3 of International Court of Justice hearings on Israel's humanitarian obligations to Palestinians saw the United States and Hungary defend Israel and discredit the court and United Nations as biased. The United Nations called for concerted action to stop the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza as Israel's total blockade enters its 60th day. Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 52,400 Palestinians and wounded 118,014 others. The Gaza government media office updated the death toll to more than 61,700, saying thousands of people missing under the rubble are presumed dead. Speaking at a rally in Michigan to mark his first 100 days in office, U.S. President Donald Trump promised to bring back jobs to the United States. Hailing what he called a revolution of common sense, Trump told a crowd of supporters in Michigan that he was using his presidency to deliver profound change. The Republican mocked his Democratic predecessor, Joe Biden, and aimed fresh criticism at the U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman while dismissing opinion polls that showed his own popularity slipping. Hours earlier, Trump signed an executive order seeking to ease some tariff pressures amid pushback from U.S. auto manufacturers. The order would prevent stacking of Trump's various tariffs on auto imports for vehicles manufactured in the U.S. His administration imposed 25% tariffs on foreign auto imports, blanket 10% levies on nearly all trade partners, 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum, as well as 25% tariffs on trade with Mexico and Canada, not covered under a pre-existing deal.